Hey y'all, meteorologist Cindy Goldberg here from the First Alert Desk, and it's Tuesday. It felt different this Tuesday morning, didn't it? Here's a live look outside in our Sky 9 camera. This is overlooking the New Bridge. We have mostly clear skies, but we do have a few puffy clouds. That's one difference than yesterday morning. The real difference is this, the temperatures. We're in the low 80s right now, 81 here in Baton Rouge and Gonzales, as well as in Patterson's, popular number right now. Also in Houma and Bogalusa. Our lucky friends up in Macomb, though, are still into the upper 70s at 78, New Orleans at 82. Here's the big difference. Just this time yesterday, so 24 hours ago, we're already running 10 degrees warmer. So 10 degrees warmer in Baton Rouge, Macomb. Look at New Orleans, also warmer. Slidell, 11 degrees warmer this time than we were yesterday. So it is much warmer this morning. Now, it wasn't hot. It just, yesterday morning, it was actually chilly. We reached the upper 40s here in Baton Rouge. This morning, not so much the case. We were into the low 60s, which is still on the cooler side, but not chilly, not that chilly jacket fall weather. So because we started out warmer, we will also climb warmer through the afternoon. Yesterday we reached the low 80s. Today we'll climb to the upper 80s. So going with a high of 87 through the afternoon. The other difference today is that we could see just a few showers and storms through the afternoon, early evening, because we're tracking our next cold front that's on the way. So I'll show you this on the modeling. Nice and clear pretty much right now, but we'll see some more cloud cover building in as that front drops towards the south. So by 4 p.m. we could start to see a few showers and storms making their way into southern Mississippi, and then that will continue to drop south. That's really just going to be the story. Isolated showers and storms, not widespread. So here 6 p.m. you may run into a shower or a storm around dinner time. Then that will continue to make its way south. Again, very isolated, scattered at 8 p.m. and then it'll continue to track down towards the south. A lot of it should fizzle out, but there may be just a few lingering shower activity closer to the coast as we head into the overnight hours. That'll remain the case for Tuesday morning. So for today, in terms of rain chances, going anywhere from 20 to 30%. Again, it's very isolated in nature. Once the front moves through, though, we'll return to those nice clear conditions, so dry all the way through Friday. So dry through the end of the work week. It becomes a different story once we arrive into the weekend. Scattered showers and storms looking likely for both Saturday and Sunday with our next weather system. So if you look at water vapor right now, we have a big swirl right here that's making its way over the Great Lakes region. That's what's pulling that cold front through today. But then if we look off the west coast, we have another big swirl. It kind of looks like a cinnamon roll. Giant swirl right off the coast of California. This upper level low is eventually going to bring that next weather system towards our area and bring what looks to be very likely scattered showers and storms, unfortunately timing for the weekend. So here's a model. This is a European model. Now the timing is getting closer. Right now it's starting to look like this is going to be a Saturday PM rain event, because right now at the model this is 8 a.m. Saturday. A lot of the bulk of the activity is in eastern Texas, starting to enter western Louisiana. So it gets to us closer to the afternoon and evening. So we'll have to keep a closer eye on this. As we get closer and closer, we'll get more high-res models. So we'll be able to nail down the timing exactly, because both LSU and Southern have home games this weekend, so this could pose some threats for that. So 6 p.m. on Saturday, it looks like it'll continue right on through the overnight hours. So here's Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Still good chance of seeing scattered showers and storms, and then it'll continue to make its way eastward. So here's around 2:30, 3 o'clock. Looks like most of it will start to exit the state by then as it continues eastward. Then we'll start to get that northerly wind flow like we typically do behind a cold front arriving by Sunday evening and into the overnight hours. So once the front that's moving through today passes, we'll actually get back to the nicer morning. So this morning, low 60s, cooler, but not chilly like it was Monday morning. We'll get into the upper 60s tomorrow, and then back to the chillier weather by Thursday morning into the low 50s. And then we'll start a brief warm up back to the upper 50s by Friday. You'll notice the difference once again Saturday and Sunday with that next approaching weather system. Looks like we'll keep the low 60s right on through the early parts of next week. So today I do think will be the warmest days in terms of the afternoons. Upper 80s is quite warm. Then we'll return back to the low 80s once that front moves through. We may warm a bit by Friday with that next storm system, and then we'll drop a bit as well. Look at Sunday. We could see afternoon highs into the upper 70s, mostly because of the timing of the rainfall and, of course, the colder air that'll be moving in behind that next weather system. Low 80s will also return to the start of next week. So what about the end of the month? We have Halloween arriving at the end of the month, and the question is, What am I going to wear? Well, the Climate Prediction Center puts out these outlooks, temperature outlooks, and it's a probabilistic forecast. So probabilities of temperatures above or below normal or right at normal. So this is through October 28th through November 3rd, and actually a big chunk of the southeast is not shaded in anything. That means temperatures are likely to be right at normal. So what is normal for Halloween? Well, afternoon highs normally are typically into the upper 70s, normal lows into the low 50s. So right now, guidances are hinting at temperatures will be closer to these temperatures, which is actually on the cooler side. Last year, we were in the low 80s and into the low 70s for our morning low. So it does look like we're starting to see a trend towards cooler weather arriving by Halloween. Okay, we still have to talk about the tropics, and actually this morning we got a new tropical storm. Here it is. It's in the Caribbean, starting to get itself better organized, and now has the M name, so it is Tropical Storm Melissa. It's moving westward about 14 miles an hour, sustained winds at 50 miles an hour as of this morning. So we do have a hurricane watch in effect for coastal portions of Haiti. We also have a tropical storm watch in place for Jamaica. So this is expected to bring some impacts for the Caribbean islands, especially we could see heavy rain and flooding risks because the storm is really not going to move all that much. It's really just going to meander in the Caribbean, and it's in an environment that is conducive. So that means it's in an environment that it can strengthen. So it's likely that this will become our next hurricane of the season, but you'll notice here the cone, it's barely a cone because it does not move. But if you look closely by the end of the week, the National Hurricane Center is expecting this to become a hurricane by the end of the week, which is why we have those hurricane watches in place for Haiti. Back here at home though, we just have to watch for a few showers and storms arriving later today with that next cold front, so it will be warm this afternoon with temperatures climbing to the upper 80s. But behind that cold front, we'll return to the cooler mornings, so upper 50s tomorrow, and then we'll get cooler than that for Thursday morning into the low 50s. That's what I call chilly. I think that's jacket weather there. Low 80s through the afternoon, so it'll still feel nice. We'll keep the sunshine and clouds the next few days right on through the end of the work week. Our next big change though arrives by the weekend, watching for scattered showers and storms looking likely right now. So as we get closer, we'll be able to nail down the timing and details for the homecoming games, or not homecoming games, the home games that are on Saturday, both for LSU and Southern. And then it looks like we'll return to some nicer weather pattern arriving by early next week as well. So Jeff Morrow will have more details on what to expect in terms of the rainfall later today, as well as the latest on the tropics with Tropical Storm Melissa, and then of course what to expect with those details as we get closer and closer to the weekend for you right here on WFB on Noon Show.
Southern Air of Baton Rouge says no, 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 no interest, no money down, no payments for 12 months on HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more.